Connie, I'm fascinated by human behavior, and this is your area of expertise, and developing leaders and how
Right.
leaders. So I want to ask you a series of questions that just deal with how managers lead people. How do they turn potential into performance? Let's first talk about some of the hard situations. When a leader has to fire a team member or let them go, first of all, is being laid off or fired any different on the inside of the emotions of the person? And if so, how? And then what can a leader do to make that a little bit of an easier transition?
I do think laid off and fired are two different things, because there are a lot of people who are laid off who didn't deserve it.
Yes.
The company knows they didn't deserve it. There is nothing in their background, there's nothing in their portfolio or their resume. I mean, they did what was expected, even exceeded it, and because of numbers or the economy or whatever. So laid off is tough emotionally because oftentimes it just isn't fair. And one of the things that's hard for any of us is when life isn't fair. But let's talk about fired. When I'm working with a group of managers or leaders, this question always comes up. And I always say, a good leader never fires anyone. The employees fired themselves. You know, all you do, if you're managing people, all you do is you set high standards for performance. We're going to come to work on time. We're going to treat each other well. We're going to communicate. We're going to treat our customer well. We're going to get along with each other. We're going to look around and see what needs to be done. We're going to deal with change. That's what you do. That's your job as a manager. You come in and you set high expectations, and your job, if I'm evaluating you, if I'm your boss, I'm evaluating you on your ability to somehow coach, mentor, train, educate, teach, motivate your team to meet those standards. Now, if I am your employee and I'm not meeting those standards, I'm choosing not to come in on time, I'm choosing to have an attitude, I'm choosing not to be a team player, I'm choosing to be lazy, any of those, then you didn't fire me. All you simply said was, in this company, these are the standards that we attain, and these are the standards we meet. And since you've chosen not to meet these standards, then I appreciate your decision to be happy elsewhere. I mean, that's the line I teach them to say. So I always try to get managers to say, stop feeling guilty. There's nothing, you know, it always amazes me that people would usually expect more of a 7-year-old than they do a 30 or 40 or 50-year-old.
Isn't that true?
I mean, there's a lot of managers that I'm coaching or working with that are allowing employees to act, treat, behave, have an attitude that if this were one of their children, they would no more tolerate it. So I say, so let's get this right. You expect a 7-year-old to talk respectfully, treat people well, communicate, be an honest person, do what you ask. And yet here's a 40-year-old, 50, 60-year-old, and then you're feeling guilty. I don't see it.
Great point.
So no, you don't fire people. Pretty well people have choices when they come to work. And right now, when every position, the statistics said, for everyone that's working, there's 11 people that want your job.
Wow.
11. And they're willing to drive further to get to your job. And they're willing to get paid less for your job, and they're willing to take fewer benefits for your job. So if that's the deal, if there's 11 understudies out there that are dying for your job, this is pretty well a time to meet expectations or exceed them.